Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to highlight a free Steam game available through Humble right now. It's a pretty good one. Typically goes for $14.99. A little bit of a workaround to get it, but I'll take you guys through that. Also, Bad North Jotun Edition is available free through the Epic Game Store. That's their freebie. Warhammer Vermintide 2, you can enjoy a free weekend on that. And then, of course, have to talk everything about Half-Life because that's been all the news in the PC gaming world recently, especially with Half-Life Alyx being announced for VR. Could Half-Life 3 be coming? Let's talk all about that. But first up, I do want to take you guys through the Humble freebie right now, and that is a free copy of Serial Cleaner when you subscribe to the Humble Bundle newsletter. If you sign up to the newsletter, which you should anyway, you'll get updates about the ongoings of Humble, new bundles coming out, things like that. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll also get a Serial Cleaner for free. The game itself is a game that I was very unaware about prior to it being offered for free, but it came out back in 2017 for $14.99. And it has a very positive reception on Steam based on 182 Steam user reviews, 86% positive, has a really slick art style, kind of simplistic but also very aesthetically pleasing as well. It notes, slip on your flares, grab your shades, and hop in your station wagon. It's time to work. As a mob professional cleaner, a good cleaner never gets caught, so you have to make sure you get in, clean up, and get out without leaving a trace of evidence in this stylish award-winning 2D action stealth game. It's a story-driven, fast-paced stealth action game set in 1970s America. Again, you're a professional cleaner. Your job is to clean up murder scenes by disposing of bodies, cleaning up bloodstains, and hiding incriminating evidence. A good cleaner never gets caught, so you have to make sure you get in, clean up, and get out without leaving a trace of evidence for the police to find. The game notes a 70s inspired setting and funky soundtrack, real-world data to modify levels according to the current time of day in the player's whereabouts, full story-driven campaign, and challenge modes as well. Got a 64 on Metacritic, but again, the Steam reception paints a more positive picture, and if you sign up to the Humble newsletter, you will get a Steam code, so it redeems directly on Steam. Free copy of that. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Also available as a freebie over on EGS Epic Game Store is Bad North Jotun Edition. It's a real-time tactics roguelite. Position and relocate your troops to fend off the Vikings, who each have their own counters to the threats you pose. Pick your battles and plan your evacuations carefully. Lose a commander and they're gone forever. Lose everything and it's game over. Pretty well-received title, came out back in late 2018, about just a year old at this point. Typically goes for $14.99, but available free through EGS. And lastly, as far as the freebies go, I do want to let you guys know about Warhammer Vermintide 2. That is available as a free weekend title, and it is seeing a significant discount, 75% off for $7.49. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is the kind of game that you definitely want to play with a couple of friends, so if you want to jump into this title, tell your friends about it, jump in together, and that's how you're going to have the best experience possible. Really well-received title, 82 on Metacritic. Very positive reception on Steam based on the recent reviews of 1,254 user reviews. That's 89% positive. All-time reviews paints a more negative picture. North of 28,000 reviews and 75% of that is positive. Still rather good, and I would recommend giving that game a look. Alright, so that's all of the free stuff available right now. Let's talk everything regarding Half-Life right now. I know I'm a little bit late on it, been a little busy, but nonetheless, obviously Half-Life Alyx has been announced, and it's been all the rage right now over in the PC gaming world. And of course, it is a VR project, so if you guys don't have virtual reality, that's a little bit of a bummer, but this looks like a big budget Half-Life title, and if you're expecting something that was a little bit of a meme, expecting something that was just a cash grab, this is absolutely not that. It is going to be released for a full $60, and it is seeing a 10% off discount. You can pre-order it right now, but nonetheless, Half-Life Alyx is Valve's VR return to the Half-Life series. It's the story of an impossible fight against a vicious alien race known as the Combine, set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2. Play as Alyx Vance. You are humanity's only chance for survival. So this looks like a top-tier title. Visually, it looks excellent. Now, obviously, with VR titles, I take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt just because it's very easy to manipulate a VR game, make it look insane, and then when you finally get the game, might not be as good, but it is Valve, it is Half-Life, and I'm hoping that this game does deliver. About the gameplay itself, it notes Valve's return to the Half-Life universe that started it all was built from the ground up for virtual reality. VR was built to enable the gameplay that sits at the heart of Half-Life. Immerse yourself in deep environmental interactions, puzzle solving, world exploration, and visceral combat. Learn to aim around a broken wall and under to make an impossible shot, rummage through shelves to find a healing syringe and some shotgun shells, manipulate tools to hack alien interfaces, toss a bottle through the window to distract an enemy, rip a head crab off your face and throw it out the window. It looks like there's quite a bit of depth to the gameplay as well, and if you already have Valve Index, you'll get a free copy of Half-Life Alyx plus extra content, customized customers who have purchased Valve Index hardware by the end of 2019 will have access to unique bonuses starting early next year, exploring environments from Half-Life Alyx in your Steam VR home space, alternate gun skins to embellish Alyx's arsenal, and then special Half-Life Alyx themed content for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So there you have it. Half-Life is coming back. Is this the ideal way we would have liked to see Half-Life come back? Probably for the majority of people, no, but Half-Life back in any form, I have to say, is a win. This is better than nothing, and given that Half-Life has been absent for so long, I will take this over having nothing. Now, also, Valve spoke a little bit about working on other Half-Life titles and other Valve titles in general. In a recent interview with The Verge, Valve's David Spare confirmed Half-Life will continue after Alyx's release. When asked, does this mark a full return to the series and should we expect more, Sprayer replied saying yes, it's probably no surprise that many people at Valve have been wanting to get back to the Half-Life universe for a long time, and this experience has only reinforced that. In the process of creating Half-Life Alyx, we've had to explore new ways to tell stories with these characters and this world, and we've discovered a lot of new gameplay experiences that go beyond what we've been able to do before. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how people react to Half-Life Alyx, and it was also noted in an interview with journalist Jeff Keighley, Valve designer Robin Walker also spoke on Half-Life in the future of the series, and while Half-Life Alyx is a full-length VR prequel to Half-Life 2, it isn't Half-Life 3. Valve dev Robin Walker replies, quote, in all honesty, back in 2016 when we started this, Half-Life was just terrifying. Half-Life 3 was a terrifyingly daunting prospect, and I think to some extent VR was the way we could fool ourselves into believing we had a way to do this. By starting with VR and then trying to think about Half-Life and how we worked with it, and playtesting those, you're immediately in a space where we have something we understand well, Half-Life's core gameplay and a new platform with new prospects and new possibilities, and we can do that translation and then we can watch people play it. It was really easy to not try and think about the big picture of like, are we making Half-Life 3 and just focus on let's figure out what people enjoy in this and let's make forward progress. So there you have it. It seems like they're not ruling out the idea of Half-Life 3. At the very least, Half-Life is going to continue after the release of Half-Life Alyx as a VR project, and I think to push the VR train, it is a good idea to make Half-Life's return with Half-Life Alyx. Now, if the idea was to release Half-Life 3 as a VR exclusive project, obviously that wouldn't go over well, but I think the clamoring and talk about Half-Life 3 is only gonna escalate after the revelation of a new Half-Life game. People want Half-Life 3 so badly, and Half-Life 3 is the kind of game that if it was revealed, I think it's one of the very few games that would break out of the gaming bubble. It would be a pop culture icon just because just about everyone knows about Half-Life 3. My friends that are not into gaming at all know about the memes of Half-Life 3. My casual gaming friends know about Half-Life 3. People that have never played Half-Life, they don't care about Half-Life. They all know about Half-Life 3 because it's kind of built this aura around it about this mythical game that has never come out, even more so than some of the other games like Final Fantasy VII Remake that took a long time to get announced. Half-Life 3 is at another level, at a whole other level compared to games like that, and if it was one day announced, it would be an absolute juggernaut of an announcement, and then the release would just break everything. I think it would break sales records of a ton of games. I don't know necessarily if it would break like Grand Theft Auto 5 sales numbers, just because sales numbers of that game is ridiculous, but if it was released on just about every platform, PC, next PlayStation, next Xbox, whatever the case may be, PS6 by the time it's out, I do think it would sell just astronomically well, and I am having my fingers crossed. I know it might be completely foolish in 2019 to think that Half-Life 3 might actually come to fruition, but they're saying that there's gonna be more Half-Life after Half-Life Alyx. You can't do another Half-Life game without doing Half-Life 3. That is the gradual and natural next evolution of a next release of Half-Life. It would have to be Half-Life 3, so that's my 2 cents on that, and that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, sign up to the Humble newsletter and get a free copy of Serial Cleaner. Right now, you can also get Bad North Jotun Edition for free, and you can play Warhammer Vermintide 2 for free during the weekend. And let me know your thoughts on Half-Life Alyx. Let me know your thoughts on a potential Half-Life 3. Am I just foolish for even suggesting that that might be a possibility, that might happen? Who knows? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.